Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're journeying back in time, about 40,000 years, to meet an individual whose story is one of the most poignant in human history, the last Neanderthal. Now, when you picture a Neanderthal, what comes to mind? Probably the classic caveman stereotype, right? A brutish, hunched-over figure. But what if I told you the reality was far more complex and far more human? Let's dive in. For hundreds of thousands of years, Neanderthals thrived across Europe and Asia. They were master hunters, skilled tool makers, and they cared for their sick and elderly. They buried their dead, sometimes with flowers and tools, suggesting they had a concept of an afterlife. They were a successful, intelligent species, perfectly adapted to their environment. But then, things began to change. A new group of humans, Homo sapiens, our direct ancestors, started migrating out of Africa and into Neanderthal territories. For a while, the two groups coexisted. We know this because many of us today carry a small percentage of Neanderthal DNA. They weren't just neighbors. They were partners, families, they shared knowledge, culture, and life itself. But coexistence didn't last forever. The world was changing. The climate shifted dramatically during the Ice Age, and the large game Neanderthals relied on started to disappear. Homo sapiens, with their more varied diet and perhaps more sophisticated social networks, adapted more quickly. Now, imagine being the last one. Let's call him Kale. Kale would have grown up in a small, tight-knit family group. He would have learned the ancient ways. How to track a woolly mammoth, how to knap flint into a perfect spear point, which plants could heal a wound. He would have listened to the elders' stories around the fire, tales of great hunts and powerful spirits. But as he grew older, he would have noticed the world becoming emptier. The neighboring clans they used to meet for seasonal hunts weren't there anymore. The familiar calls in the forest grew silent. His family would have dwindled, one by one. Not from epic battles with Homo sapiens, as is often imagined, but more likely from the quiet challenges of survival, a harsh winter, a failed hunt, a sickness without a cure. Eventually, Kale might have found himself completely alone. Can you imagine the profound loneliness? Every sunrise, he would wake up as the sole keeper of his people's language, their memories, their entire culture. The stories, the songs, the skills, they lived and died with him. He would have seen the new people, the Homo sapiens, from a distance. Perhaps he watched them with a mix of curiosity, fear, and longing. Their laughter might have sounded strange, their tools different. He was a ghost in his own homeland, a relic of a bygone era. He wasn't a brutish monster. He was a person, just like you and me, facing the unimaginable tragedy of being the very last of his kind. The story of the last Neanderthal isn't just about extinction. It's a powerful reminder of our shared human history and the deep connections that bind us all. It reminds us that we are part of a long branching family tree, and that even the branches that seem to have ended have left a permanent mark on who we are today. The Neanderthals aren't truly gone. A small piece of them lives on in many of us, a silent echo from a lost world. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into our incredible past. Let us know in the comments what you think about our ancient cousins. Until next time, stay curious.